Devotees, we thank you for being here as always. And we have His Grace, Ishara Prabhu, here with us, who needs no introduction. Oh, Prabhuji, we missed you this weekend, Ishara Prabhu. We had a blast of His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj's appearance and programs. It was so wonderful.
You had it online? You had it on the Zoom?
Yes. I'll look for the link and share with you later.
I did not see the notice of it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I didn't see the notice.
Yeah, it was wonderful anyway. So again, we're very much thankful that you could begin the new week with us. And without further ado, we may put the person on the screen and then you take it over from here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Agyanatmindasya Kaya Chaksusmilata Ye Natasmasi Gurave Namaha Gurave Gurachandaya Radikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktayata Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Narayana Namaskritya Naraycha Manarotama Devam Sarasatim Vyasan Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nasta Prayeswa Badresu Nitam Bhagavata Shivaya Bhagavatam Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistike Vede Ramane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tata Hado Adya Chamadesha Hari Sabhata Giyati Mukam Kartvachalam Pangulang Gaiti Guriya Yakipata Ham Bande Sri Guru Dinatarine Paramananda Madhava Dharma Prajitu Kadabuta Paramoni Mashram Satam Vedam Vastavam Matavastu Shivadan Tabata Yumalanan Shima Bhagavati Mahamani Kitenki Vaipara Ishvara Sadhuridi Yabarudi Trakati Pitake Shanan Nigama Kapa Falangalitan Falam Sukamukantra Samjitan Bibatan Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Mahura Urasika Bovi Bhavaka Atoyam Brahmasutranam Bharatata Binanaya Gayati Bashari Poso Buddhata Paribremita Sababiditi Asana Sarasaran Paribremita Sabidanta Saram Shibhagatamishati Tarasamita Syati Pasya Nanyati Sarati Kochit Yashavaya Shamana Yang Krishna Parma Puruse Bhakti Utapade Punsa Sukha Moa Bhayapaha Atoyam Brahmasutranam Bharatata Binanaya Gayati. Okay. Vasudeva Sutandevan Kansa Chanramadanam Devaki Paramananda Krishna Bantijaka Guru Krishna Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama Namamo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Putale Simate Bhakti Vedanta Swamitina Mine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivisesa Sunyavadi Pasacha Desatarine Anandalila Maya Vigraya Ima Badavicha Visundaraya Tasma Mahaprimrasa Padaya Chaitanya Chandayana Namastute Chaitanya Chandayana Namastute Vanchika Patrubhya Chakripa Sindhi Bevache Patitanam Pavana Vibhu Vaishnava Vibhu Namo Namaha. So I thank everyone for being here this evening, my time, on this Hare Krishna Forum platform. Of course, some of you have to know, and some is their morning time. But for me, it's night time in Vrindavan, speaking from Sri Vrindavan down. So today is also a Ekadasi. It's very, very important day. Ekadasi is very important day because it's said to be the mother of Atiti. Actually, there is no end to the benefit of Ekadasi. Because Ekadasi is such that even if one unknowingly fasts on Ekadasi, if unknowingly, one still gets tremendous benefit. Just unknowingly fast. There was one king, his name is Rukmanga. So this king is very, famous pious king. And the king, he had a garden, like a small garden in his palace. He has a garden. And in this garden, um, the garden, the servants, they will grow so many flowers. They will grow a lot of aromatic flowers. And the flower, they are so aromatic that even the scent will even go to the higher planets. They even go to the heavenly planets, that even the damsels of the heaven, they will come down and strut around in the garden, because this flower is so so highly fragrance. Just imagine. Normally, you don't, from one planet to another planet, you don't get aromatic flowers. You don't get the scent of a flower from other planet. But this one, even though the flower was being grown on the earth, but the scent was going to the higher planet. So many heavenly ladies will come, and then they will play all night, and then they will take the flowers with them. So by the morning time, there'll be no flowers left by the morning time. There'll be no bud left. And the summer, they'll be wondering that what's going on? What has come? How come there's no flowers left anymore in the next morning? And when the king asked them that, where is the flowers? So they told the king that, oh, grow the flowers nicely. We cultivated flower nicely, but by the morning time, they mysteriously disappear. Mysteriously disappear. So one time, when some of these heavenly ladies, they call them the apsaras, so they had come to play in this garden, to take the flower, to smell the flowers and take the flowers with them. Now, one of the apsaras, one of the heavenly angels, somehow, there was an eggplant. There was an eggplant in the garden. And the stem of this eggplant pierced her foot. So when the stem of this eggplant pierced her foot, an eggplant is considered to be a very inauspicious, said to be very inauspicious plant, vegetable plant. It's said to be inauspicious. And that's why you even find that even many Vaishnavas group, they will not eat eggplant. So the stem had pierced her feet, and because of this, she could not fly back to the heavens. She couldn't fly back to the heavenly planet. She couldn't fly back. So the next morning, the king saw her. The king saw her and asked her that, what happened? Who are you? What happened? So she explained, I said that my name is, Ubasi Apsara. And I came from the heaven, but last night, the eggplant stem pierced my foot. So I could not go back to the heavenly planet. I could not fly back. So therefore, you must help me to go back. So the king said, well, what can I do to help you? How can I help you to go back to the heaven? So she said, well, if there's been any person who had fasted on Ekadasi, because Ekadasi was just because that day happened to be Ekadasi. If there's any person who had fasted on Ekadasi, and that person could transfer all their pious merit to her. And then by doing that, she'll be able to go back to the heavenly planet. So the king replied, well, in my kingdom, nobody fasts, but they don't even know nothing about Kedasi. Nobody even know anything about Kedasi. So they don't even know. How can I find someone who could, who had fasted? Because Ekadasi fasting means complete fasting, which means no eating. It means Nijar. That's what Ekadasi fasting means. So the king said, well, in this kingdom, nobody fasts because nobody, they don't even know anything about Ekadasi. So the Apsara, she replies, well, if there's anyone who has unknowingly fasted on the Sekadasi day, who has unknowingly fasted and fasted day, then just that person can you know, I can use that person to transfer the credit, the past credit, and then that can be transferred to me, and then I can go back to the heavenly planet. So, and then the king, he made the announcement in the kingdom, said that has there been anyone who had fasted on Ekadasi, or has there been anyone who had completely fasted yesterday because it's Ekadasi day? Had there been anyone who had fasted yesterday? And if there's such a person, you will get a reward because I want that person to transfer the merit of the fasting to this heavenly lady, and I will get a reward. So as the king was searching, they were searching the kingdom, and they find one lady, one maid servant. So this maid servant, she had fasted because what happened that the maid servant was the employee of a merchant. And this merchant had been very, very cruel to her, been very, very cruel to her, treated her badly. So because of this bad maltreatment of this merchant, so this maid servant, she was very, very distressed. So she fasted the whole day and the whole night. She did not eat any the whole night. So because of that, because that fast happened to be on the Ekadasi day, so she was the king called her up, and then the merits which had been accumulated for the fasting, even though knowing or unknowingly, but the merit has been accumulated. So this merit was transferred to the Apsara lady, oversee, and then she went back to the heavenly planet. She went back. So that's some of the results of the heaven. And then, of course, the king was very, very happy that, oh, even if someone unknowingly fast on Ekadasi, there's so much merit that is accumulated. So therefore, the king made a declaration. He made a decree that in this kingdom, everyone must fast on Ekadasi. That everyone must fast on Ekadasi in this kingdom. So in the kingdom, everyone started fasting. And then the king became very, very prosperous and everything, all the benefits. So there's unlimited benefit of Ekadasi. And of course, it said, what is Ekadasi? Ekadasi is the day of Lohari. Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani. Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani, which means is the day of Lohari, Madhavatiti. And Bhakti Janani, it brings the Bhakti to the Lord, which means by Ekadasi fasting, one actually get closer to the Lord. One develop bhakti by Ekadasi fasting. So the Vaishnav, they take very, very serious fasting on the Ekadasi. Yes, Ekadasi Kija. So, today's Ekadasi, and then after 4 days, on the go name. So today's verse, Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 3. No, third canto, chapter 6, text 35. This is the this is the this second about the explanation of the universal form, the manifestation of the universal form, and so Matrimony is explaining the universal form. So chapter 6, text 35. So I just read it. Etakshata Bhagavato Daiva Kamatma Rupina Kasradaya Rupa Kachun Yogamaya Bahidayam. Etat, this, Shata Vidura Bhagavata of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Daiva Atma Rupina of the gigantic form of transcendental work, time and nature, Ka, who else? Shada Diets can aspire, Upakartun measure in totality, Yoga Maya, internal potency, Bala Udayan, manifested by the strength of. Translation and purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Vidura, who can estimate or measure the transcendental time, work, and potency of the gigantic form manifested by the eternal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The froggish philosophers may go on with their mental speculations of the subject matter of the variety. The gigantic form exhibited by the Yoga Maya internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sorry, I'm having some cold here. But actually, no one can measure such a vast exhibition. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, 11:16, Arjuna, the recognized devotee of the Lord, says, Aneka Bahudara Bhakta Netram Pashyami Twan Sabato Anantarupan Nantana Madhyana Punastvadim Na Punastabadim Pashyami Visveshwara Vishwarupa. O my Lord, O gigantic Virat Rupa form, O Master of the universe, I see innumerable hands, bodies, mouth, and eyes in all directions, and they are all unlimited. I cannot find the end of the manifestation, nor do I see the middle nor the beginning. Bhagavad Gita was specifically spoken to Arjuna, and the Vishwarupa was exhibited before him at his request. He was awarded the specific eyes to see this Vishwarupa. Yet, although he was able to see the Lord's innumerable hands and mouths, he was unable to see him completely. Since Arjuna was unable to estimate the length and breadth of the potency of the Lord, who else would be able to do so? One may only indulge in miscalculation like the frog philosopher. The frog philosopher wanted to estimate the length and breadth of the Pacific Ocean by his experience of a whale 3 cubic meter large. And thus he began to puff himself up to become as big as the Pacific Ocean. But at last he burst and died by this process. This story is applicable to the mental philosophers who, under the illusion of the Lord's external energy, indulge in estimating the length and breadth of the Supreme Lord. The best part is to become a cool-headed, submissive devotee of the Lord. Try to hear about the Lord from the bona fide spiritual master, and thus serve the Lord in transcendental loving service, as suggested in the previous verse. Eta Kshatra Bhagavati, Daiva Kamana Rupina, Ka Sadadhyat Upakatsun, Chugamaya Balodayam. Ovidura, who can estimate or measure the transcendental time, work, and potency of the gigantic form manifested by the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So which means this universal form of the Lord is not an honorary form, it's not material form, even though it's a manifestation of all, even though it is a material manifestation of all the cosmos, of all the universes, how everything is situated within the body of the Lord. But the origin of the universal form is spiritual. So therefore, the word Yogamaya specifically mentioned this in this verse, Yogamaya Balodayam. So Yogamaya is internal potency of the Lord. So it's there manifested itself. And only some very, very few devotees can see this universal form of the Lord. And the universal form of the Lord is such that when the Lord exhibits so particular devotees, so those devotees, they're able to see only as much as they are permitted to see it or to understand. Because the Lord is so vast, the Lord is so unlimited. So if someone is unlimited, how do you begin to calculate him? How do you begin to estimate? If somebody when say somebody unlimited means no limit, no limitation. Just like Prabhupada used the word of the frog philosopher, Dr. Frog. So Dr. Frog was there in his well, and this is the well that he has ever known in his entire life. So one time his friend came, he had a friend. His friend came, he said, "Oh, my dear friend, you know, I'm just coming from the Pacific Ocean. Very big body of water. I just saw the Pacific Ocean." And the Dr. Frog said, "Oh, how is that? Big, very big?" "Yeah, my friend is the friend. Yes, very, very big. You can't even estimate so big." And he said that, "Is it as big as my well? Is it as big as this well?" So the friend said, "Oh, no. Your well is just a puddle." You know what this? You can know there's just no comparison. And then, you know, as normal for the frog, they, you know, the way when they crack, they puff themselves up. So the frog came asking his friend that, is it as twice as big? Is it 3 times as big? Is it 4 times as big? And then was puffing himself up, and eventually he got busted. His stomach got exploded. You know. So people trying to understand the absolute truth by their own mental speculations. That's ultimately they get frustrated. You tend to understand the absolute truth. Because the absolute truth is beyond the range of the senses, beyond the range of what you can see or know. The absolute truth is said to be in the 4th dimension. It means it's beyond what you can see, what you can think of, what you can, you know, it's beyond that. You know. But due to pride, a materialistic philosopher will say, "Oh, I have known everything about God. I have known everything about the supreme law," due to pride. So a materialistic philosopher will say that. Sometimes you'll find some so-called yogi will tell disciple that, "Oh, my dear disciple, I have taught you everything. I've taught you everything. Now I'm completely exhausted. Because I've taught you everything that is known about the scriptures, about everything, self-realization. Now I'm completely exhausted." So you will find this among the impersonalist philosopher. But devotees know that the law is so unlimited. You know, how much can you know? If you find yourself in the middle of the ocean, let somebody drop you in the middle of the ocean, you find yourself there. You know, you find yourself in the middle of the ocean, and then you try to estimate how vast is the ocean, how big is the ocean. You are in the middle of the ocean because wherever you look, it's so unlimited, so unlimitedly vast. So how can you estimate the length and breadth of the ocean? And the ocean is just a material thing, not to talk of the spiritual aspect of the Lord. But somehow, out of lack of knowledge, out of profound of knowledge, a person will say, "Oh, I've known everything about God. I've teach everything about God, and there's nothing else to be known, to be taught." So Lord Brahma, when he was praying to Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna was in the forest of Vrindavan, and he was a cowherd boy, about 6 years old. Lord Krishna was about 6 years old, cowherd boy, and the cowherd boy is, he was playing with his friends, with the butter. He had butter in his hand, with the chapati, and then Krishna and his friend, they will exchange the food. Sometimes Krishna's friend will put the food in Krishna's mouth. Krishna will eat that. And sometimes Krishna will he will also take food, put in the mouth of Krishna, in the mouth of his friend. They will eat that. So Brahma just came there. He was very curious, trying to see the activities of the Lord. And when he saw this interaction that is there between Krishna and his cowherd friends, so Lord Brahma became confused. He said, "Oh, what is this? It is my God. This is my Lord. This is God. How is this just playing like an ordinary human being?" So Brahmaji decided to test the Lord. He decided to test the Lord. So he decided to use his mystic power, because after all, Lord Brahma is a very, very powerful person. He's he has the most power within this universe. So he decided to use his mystic power and try to see what Krishna will do. So what he did was that he stole all Krishna's friends and cows. He took all of them and put them in a cave and put them in Yoga Nidra, in a mystic sleep. So you want to see now what Krishna will do. He wanted to see what Krishna will do now that he has taken all Krishna's friend or Krishna's cow. But the last nature, his activity is that his enjoyment is that no one can really disturb his enjoyment. No one can disturb his enjoyment. So when Brahmaji, when he took all the Krishna's friends, cows and everything, so the Lord immediately said, "Oh, this is what Brahmaji has done." So the Lord didn't do anything. He simply manifested all the cowherd boys and calves. He simply manifested all of them with the equal numbers of cows, equal numbers of cowherd boys. And not just that, he also manifested their nature. He also, along with each cowherd boy, he manifests their particular characteristics. So that those boys, when they go to their home, they will continue to behave in the same way that they were behaving before. It manifests their particular characteristics. And this episode went on for a whole year when the Lord was, he had expanded himself into each cowherd boys, into each cows and all that. And this particular year, all the parents of the cowherd boys, they have so much affection for their children. They have so much affection for their children. When their children is coming from the pasture, they immediately run out of the house to go and meet their children. Well, before this particular year, the year which Krishna assumed the form of Egypt boy, before that particular year, normally all the Prajabasis, the only point of attraction is Krishna. They will always go and assemble in the house of Nanda Maharaj and wait for Krishna to return, and they want to relish Krishna's activities. Actually, they will actually neglect their own children. They want to see Krishna and see his pastimes. But this particular year, their children, all their affection, everything, and their affection was so much. Why? Because Krishna had become their children. Krishna became their children. So even Lord Balaram said, even he became bewildered. He said, "Oh, how come? What is this what is going on in Vrindavan?" what has happened? So after a period of 1 year, which is a moment of Brahma's time, so Brahma, he came back to see how Krishna is acting now with all his friends gone. How's he acting? How's he managing himself without his friends and cows? But when Brahma came there, he saw that the same boys, the same cow, they are there. They are there exchanging different parts of Krishna. The same colored boys, they are there. You know, Subala, Sridhar, Madhubanga, Stuka Krishna, Arjuna, so many of them. So Brahmaji became He said, what is going on here? And then he went to the cave to see where he had kept those boys. But the boys were still there sleeping, where he had put them. And then he came back, then again he saw that Krishna is playing with the same boys. So Brahmaji became very perplexed. He said, what is this? Because he thought that he could bewilder Krishna. But he became very bewildered. And then to show his mercy to Brahma, then the Lord now transformed himself. And then Lord Brahmaji, he could see that all these cowherd boys and cows, they all Vishnu forms, they are manifestation of Vishnu. He could see them all transform into Vishnu. So, and then Brahma, he became very, very amazed. He became very, very amazed. And then he realized his foolishness to try to calculate the extent of the Lord's power, the extent of the Lord's energy. But who can calculate it? It's impossible to calculate the Lord's energy. It's impossible to calculate the Lord's power. It's impossible. Ordinary material ocean, we cannot even estimate the length and the deepness of the ocean. We cannot even estimate it. That's just ordinary material ocean. How to talk about the fact that there are innumerable planets in this universe. And within a particular universe, there are innumerable universes. And each of these universes, they are coming from the body of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu is just a plenary portion of the Supreme Lord. It's not even the ultimate Bhagavan. Lord Vishnu, but from the pore of his skin, so many universes are coming, many universes have been generated. So how can one say that yes, he knows everything about God? How can one say so? Only a foolish person can say that. So Brahmaji is saying, he was saying, Gonad Manase Pugunjam Vimatum Itabatnasya Kaishirshya Kalena Yaiba Vimita Sapakapai Bu Pansabhake Meka Dubashaha. It's from the Bhagavatam, which is in the 14:7. So Brahmaji was praying. He said, in time, learned philosophers or scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth. In time, philosophers, scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particles of snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars, and other luminaries. But among those learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended onto the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities? See, Lord Brahmaji is making a comparison. He said that maybe a time may come when the scientists, the learned people, the philosophers, the logicians, a time may come by which they'll be able to count all the atoms of all the particles of the universe, of the planet. Maybe a time will come, because that time is never really come anyway. But like Brahmaji said, maybe a time will come when there may be someone who will be able to do that. But despite all this, still, No one will be able to count your transcendental qualities. No one can do that. For example, we've been talking about the Virat Rupa, the universal form. How the Lord manifested in the entire universe, how the whole universe is a complete body of the Lord. And devotees, they're able to see this according to their particular capabilities. Even when the universal form is manifested before the devotees, it's not that they can see everything at once, because again, the Lord is unlimited. How can you see everything about him? You can't see everything about him, but the Lord, he allowed himself to be seen or to be known when he specifically become merciful upon the devotee. When he become merciful upon the devotee, then the Lord allowed himself to be seen. Otherwise, without the Lord, no one can understand anything about him. Actually, we know something about Krishna because when the Lord grant us some understanding, when the Lord grant us some understanding, then we can know something about him. And that is according to his mercy. Because how do you get the mercy? How do you get the Lord's mercy? There's nothing you can do to get the Lord's mercy. Only by the Lord, when the Lord becomes merciful upon you, then he can reveal something about himself to you. And that's possible only by the nature of bhakti. It's a bhakti it's a bhakti and a shakya. Amavede video ajuna. Gyantin rasam chita tuena, pravisam chita chana paranta by law. So the law, Sajin was saying that the Lord said that only by devotional service cannot be known, no other way. Only by virtue. So which when someone started rendering devotional service unto the Lord, then the Lord revealed himself to that person. There's one verse which is coming from the Upanishad, Svetashvara Upanishad. So it mentioned Nayan Atma Pravachanena Labhyona Medayana Bahona Srutena Yamivaisa Vrinute Labhyas Tasyase Atma Vibnunti Tano Shem. This is from the Upanishad. Svetashvara Upanishad. I think the same verse is also quoted in the Katha Upanishad also. Okay, this is from Katha Upanishad. That the Supreme Self can never be known by any amount of argument, reasoning, intelligence, or by much hearing. To those whom he chooses, however, he may reveal his own personal form. So basically, the Lord revealed himself according to the realization of a particular devotees. And that's why sometimes you find that devotees, they will often express something different from another devotee. The devotee, when they have a particular realization of the Lord, and because the Lord had manifested to them in a particular way, so those devotees will express themselves that way. So normally, that's why when you hear two different preachers, you can never really hear the same thing from them. There's always to be something different because the Lord manifests himself differently to different devotees. So according to their particular surrender to him, then the Lord manifests himself to them. For example, we have like the devotees who are in the category, those who are like Ashwarya above, those who are very much in the Ashwarya aspect of the Lord, which means they know about the majesty of the Lord. So those devotees of the majesty of the Lord, they are focused on that. The majesty means like Lord Narayan, who the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and so many Lakshmis are coming from him, and is the boss, is the Lord of the universe, and all that's Lord Narayan. So that's devotees who are fixed in that understanding. And then there are the other devotees who are fixed in the Madhurya aspect of the Lord. The Madhurya aspect, which means in the Lord's sweetness, as Krishna in Vrindavan. And Krishna in Vrindavan is known by his forest dwellers in the village, the cowherd boys, the cowherd boys. He had the peacock feather on his head, and then he goes to the forest, he meet the cows, he go to the forest for his friends, and then so many pastimes which takes place. So there are some few exclusive devotees who are in that realm of Madhurya, in that realm only. Because that was in the beginning of their sadhana, that was their aspiration. So you find those devotees by whom the Lord is manifest as Krishna, and then those other devotees are there by whom the Lord is manifested as Narayan. And those devotees, they are very, very fixed in the particular manifestation of the Lord. There was one time when Lord Krishna was performing his pastime, the Lord was in Dwarka. So the Lord was in Dwarka that time, he was a king in Dwarka. And then Anuma, who was still alive, Anuma is actually always alive, is Chiranjeev. So the Lord sent Garuda, that Garuda, you go and bring Anuma here. Go and bring Anuma to Dwarka to come and see me. So Garuda, he went to the place called Kiskinda Dash. That's the kingdom of Anuma. And Anuma, in that place, his Ishtadev, his original person, worshipable Lord, is Lord Ramachandra. That is his worshipable Lord. So Anuma was always engaged in the worship of Lord Ram. And then in this case, Lord Krishna sent Garuda, said, go to Anuma and bring him here to Dwarka. Tell him I want to see him. I mean, Anuma knows that Krishna is there, and Krishna is, his original form of Godhead, that Krishna and Lord Ram, they are not different. But Anuma is a devotee of Lord Ram. He's a servant of Lord Ram. So when Garuda went to Hanuman and told him that, well, the Lord want to see you in Dwarka. The Lord want to see you in Dwarka. So Hanuman replied, say, oh, my dear Garuda, I'm an old man, I'm very, very tired. I'm very, because Hanuman has been there. He's been living there for ages, since the time of, Treta Yuga. And now this is Dwapara Yuga, which means we're talking of, a few thousand years, few thousands years. So Hanuman said, my dear Garuda, I'm so tired, I cannot go. You see, I'm so old, how can I can get up? Garuda said, but I can carry you. Hanuman said, no, I'm too tired, I cannot go. I cannot go. So Garuda went back to the Lord in Dwarka and told the Lord that, well, Hanuman said that he's very tired, he's very, very old. He cannot come. So the Lord said, okay, yes, I know. Because very, very fixed in the worship of Raghunath. So therefore, go back to Hanuman and tell him that Ram want to see him. Go back and tell that Lord Ram want to see him. So Garuda went back to the place of Hanuman. I said that, well, my dear Hanuman, I'm just coming from Lord Ramachandra. He said, oh, he desires to see you now. He want to see you. So the moment Hanuman hear this, he immediately jump up, say, oh, now want to see me? Okay, let's go. He immediately jump up, say, let's go. Because Hanuman, he will be able to, he can even go more than the speed of mine. He can go reach anywhere. He said, let's go. I'm ready to go. He jumped up. Because his worshipable Lord is Lord Ramachandra. Whereas to Hanuman, that Krishna and Ram, they are not the same person. Srinate, Janakinate, Chabeda, Paramatmane, Tata was a part of Mashran, Rama Padmalochane. That he said that Srinath, it means the Lord of Lakshmi, And Janakinath, Lord, the husband of Janaki, which means the husband of Sita Devi. I know they are the same person. They are the same person, but my mind is fixed on the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra. My name is fixed that way. And also we find this also in the pastime of Lord Chaitanya, we find so many of these manifestations, many of these descriptions during the Chaitanya Lila. Chaitanya Prabhu, he had asked Murari Gupta, because Murari Gupta, he was, even though he was an intimate associate of Chaitanya Prabhu, but his worshipable Lord is Lord Ramachandra. Even though he was a personal associate with Chaitanya Prabhu, and Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, he had come to inaugurate the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. That's where he had manifested himself. So that's what everyone is doing. So, but Anumaji, Murari Gupta, who was actually an incarnation of Anuma, Murari Gupta was always fixing his worship of Lord Ram. So one time, Chaitanya Prabhu told Murari Gupta, said, "My dear Murari, I want you to worship, to take up the chanting of Krishna's name. And that's the purpose of my incarnation. I want you to take up the worship of Krishna's name." So the Lord, he gave this order to Anuma, to Murari. So the next morning, when Chaitanya Prabhu saw Hanuman, saw Murari, and so Mahaprabhu saw him, that Murari was simply crying. So Murari was crying, and Mahaprabhu asked him that, "My dear Murari, why are you crying? Why are you crying?" So Murari replied, "My dear Lord, I've been unable to follow your instruction. You instructed me to chant Krishna's name, to worship Krishna. But now I'm unable to follow your instructions because my head is sold at the lotus feet of Raghunath, of Lord Ram. How can I give up the worship? How can I give it up? I've just found it important. Instead of, my dear Lord, please allow me to die. Allow me to die now. Allow me to die in your presence because I'm unable to follow your instruction." And then Mahaprabhu was very happy. Mahaprabhu, of course, he embraced Murari Gupta. So, "My dear Murari, you are a dear servant." And then one of the statements that Mahaprabhu said, he said that glorious is that servant who does not forget his master, and glorious is that master who will never forget his servant. So the devotees, they never forget their master, and the Lord also, he never forget his devotees. So that is the thing. The devotees, they submissively surrender unto the Lord, submissively. So I think there's one verse, I think I quoted this verse, that the devotees is known according to the capability of how the Lord is permit them to know. I think there's another verse. We say, okay, it says, "Yashadeve Parabhakti, Yata Deve Tata Guru, Tashyante Kata Yata Prakasante Mahatma." No, that only unto those great souls who serve Guru and Krishna with implicit faith is the import of the Vedas fully revealed. Yashadeve Parabhakti. So which means with faith, because when the devotees, when they hear this knowledge, so they develop intense shraddha, intense faith in the description. And by developing intense faith in the description, so all doubts are removed. And when all the doubts are removed, then when the doubt is removed, then whatever knowledge they hear about the Lord, that becomes established within their heart. That becomes established within their heart, and when this is established, then it becomes the source of their birth. Birth means, the feelings. They become the source of their birth. So therefore, the devotees, they attain the transcendental bliss. They attain the transcendental happiness. So this verse should teach us a very great lesson. I was looking at many commentaries on this verse of Bhagavatam which we are reading today. And some of this commentary, they all are basically saying the same thing of how devotees do not try to exert themselves that they know everything about God. No, you don't. As a matter of fact, the more you claim to know, the more you realize that you don't know. That's how vast the law is. The more you claim to know him, the more you realize that actually you don't know. When Vamandev, when he came to the palace of Bali, he came to the palace of Bali as a dwarf brahmana. He was a dwarf, midget, very, very short. And as a brahmana, and being a brahmana, Bali he liked to render service to the brahmanas. Even though he was demoniac, but still, he liked to render service to the brahmins. That's one thing about this in those ages. Even though someone may be demoniac, but still they always have some kind of a reference to the Brahminical class. So when Vamandev, when he came to the palace of Bali, and Bali was very, very happy to receive him. He said, "Oh, my dear Brahmana, I'm so happy that you have come. And tell me, what has brought you here? What have you come to beg?" Because normally the Brahmanas, they visit their Asuda, especially the king, to beg for something. What have you come to beg? So Vamandev said, "Well, I'm a simple brahmachari. I just need only 3 steps of land. Just 3 steps of land I need, that's all." So when he said that you only need 3 steps of land, Bali became surprised. "How come? You're supposed to be a Brahmana. I've been a Brahmana, you have no intelligence. You're asking me, great Bali, this is an insult, 3 steps of land. I can give you a whole village. I can give you a whole city, a whole country I can give you. Because Bali happened to be is the Lord of the whole universe. So I can give you anything you want. I'll be a brahmachari. You want to marry? I can give you so many girls to get married to. So what is this? Is an insult to me, asking me for 3 steps of land." And Vama replied that, "Well, if a person cannot be satisfied with 3 steps of land, even if you give him the whole world, still the person will never be satisfied. So therefore, for me, 3 steps of land is just enough." But his guru was nearby, Bali's guru, Sukracharya. You know who Vamandev is. He said, "Oh, my dear disciple, don't listen to this Brahman boy. Don't agree to your proposal, to his asking you, because this Brahman boy is Vishnu. He has simply come to trick you. He's Vishnu. Don't listen to him." The Bali said, "Well, he has asked me for something, and I've agreed to give it to him. So I cannot go back on my promise. I cannot go back on my promise." And the guru said that, "But you will lose everything if you do that." So Bali said that, "So what? It's Vishnu, even if it's a Vishnu, but he has come to beg from me. So therefore, I must give him to whatever he had requested, because he has come to beg from me." And of course, Sukracharya became very, very angry. So, "Okay, I curse you that you're going to lose everything." But Bali already resigned himself. So if the Lord has come, he asked me for something, then I'm obliged to give him. I cannot go back on my word. So Bali said, "My dear Brahmana, you can take your 3 steps." So even though he was a young, boy, dwarf boy, but he started to expand himself. When he extended his leg, one step covers half the universe. And the second step covers the second half of the universe. So just by taking 2 steps, the whole universe is covered. Now, where's he going to put his third leg? It's a long story, to make a story short. But they say, well, since you have covered the whole universe with 2 steps, that there's one place to remain, and that is my head. So therefore, you can place your head, your third step, on my head. So the Lord, then he placed his head, he placed his foot on the head of Bali. And then, of course, because of that, so Bali was pushed down to the Patala planet. He was pushed into the Patala planet. But because of surrender, which Bali had made to the Lord, so the Lord himself, he actually became the bodyguard of Bali Maharaj. He became his choki, he became his bodyguard, he actually guiding, the Lord guiding the gate of Bali Maharaj in the Alice planet, in Patadaloka. And Bali is going to remain for this old Kappa, and then in the next Kappa, he's going to be the next Indra in the next Kappa. So, that is there. So, I can estimate the Lord, I can estimate him. Within this body, everything is there within this body, even though the devotees, they may have the form of the Lord in front of them. But that form in front of them, that form is unlimited. That form is unlimited, But sometimes devotees, they carry the Lord on their lap, just like Mother Yashoda, Mother Nanda Maharaj. They carry Krishna on their lap, and they're able to play with him. This is out of love. The Lord said, because of the love that is there from his devotee, so they allow them to carry him on their lap, and then they play with him. And the same Lord, when the demons, they try to carry him, they get destroyed. They get destroyed. Tinavata, Bakasura, so many of them. They get destroyed when they try to do the same. You see? So it's different. So so there's a lot of lesson that is there. The universal manifestation of the Lord, which is a display of his internal potency. So it's there. This display of his internal potency. And this display is said to be unlimited. So his potency is unlimited, his universe, his creation is unlimited. Everything about him is unlimited. So therefore, devotees, all they do, they simply offer prayer to the Lord. So they simply worship him. And then whatever they're able to know about the Lord, because of the Lord's own mercy to them, whatever they're able to know, to understand, then they broadcast that. They preach about that. They preach about that. When the gopis, they are telling Krishna that, oh, Tabakata, Mrita, Tapta Jivana, Kavibuditan, Kamasapaha, Savana Mangalam, Sudinatatam, Bove Gunantiye, Buridajana, that's the devotees. They are saying that talks about you, it's such a great auspicious for the whole universe. And the great sages, they said that just talking about you is the cure for the ills of this universe, is the ill. The talks about you, Krishna, is very beautiful. It's very, very auspicious. And those who preach about this, they are the most magnificent. They are the most magnanimous, those who preach about your message. Okay. So I'm going to stop here. If anybody have any question, you can please ask. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for, as always, you always bring some wonderful pastimes to share with the devotees. Dear devotees, if anyone may have questions, comments, realizations, you may want to ask or share, please indicate by using the hand emoji or your physical hand, and you'll be asked to unmute. Probably some devotees in the US might have missed today's class because we adjusted our clocks. So it's
not daylight saving time.
a daylight saving time.
Oh, okay.
It usually escapes some devotees the first, second days. So we'll see. But if anyone may have questions, please, you may go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, don't ever pronounce.
Hare
All
Krishna.
glories to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. And all glories to the assembled devotees.
Very good.
And thank you very much, Prabhu, for your wonderful presentation of Srimad Bhagavatam as always. But we're talking of Bali Maharaj. Can you how did he came about this wonderful mercy of the Lord? He obtained this mercy from Vamanadev because he did something that was pleasing to the Lord in his previous life. The Lord took over everything from Bali because Bali actually gave everything to the Lord. Because when he asked for the 3 steps, when he begged for the 3 steps, then Bali says, why asking me for 3 steps? I can give you a whole village. I can give you a whole city. I can give you everything. So automatically, Bali has already given everything to him. And so he has to take over. Well, this is what my little mind is drilling me. So can you comment about this? He obtained the mercy. Is it because he did something pleasing to the Lord in his previous life, and that is lifetime he has to obtain that mercy from Lord Vamanadev, or the Lord Vamanadev took over everything because he actually gave Bali Lord Vamanadev everything by his comment after he has begged for the 3 steps of land.
So Bali, actually, his greatest credit was that he was a descendant of Prahlad Maharaj. Bali was the great grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, and when the Lord Nrsingadev, when he was giving his benediction to Prahlad, that devotees, anybody in his descendants, like 100 generations in the past and 100 generations in the future, will not be liberated, will be delivered. So Bali, he got that because he was a descendant of Prahlad Maharaj, even though he was a demon, but it was a descendant of Prahlad Maharaj. And the Lord had promised Prahlad that any of his descendants will get the same benefit as he does. So that was the main credit of Bali. And of course, even though Bali was being a demon, but demons, normally in the Vedic time, they also usually they're always very kind to the Brahmanas, to the Brahman class, the Bali. So they are very kind to the Brahman class, and so which means they render service to the Brahmanas, because the Brahmanas, they are the head of all social classes. The Brahmanas are very, very exalted. So and Bali, he liked to give charity to the Brahmanas. So that was his greatest quality. But and of course, the maintenance is that he was a descendant of Prahlad Maharaj. So when he was told by Guru that, oh, this is Vishnu and he has come to trick you, so Bali says, so be it. If it's Vishnu, so be it. I've given my promise. If it's Vishnu, but he has come to beg from me. So therefore, he has come to beg from me, so I have to give him what he has come to beg for. So this, the product, yes, somebody has come to beg from something. So he said, okay, I must give that person. because the person has come to beg from me, no matter how exalted that person is. So this was the mentality of Bali. And then Bali, he rejected the advice of his guru. When his guru said, don't give him, you should reverse your promise. Bali said, no, I'm not going to do that. I cannot reverse my promise. I won't do that. So Bali is one of the Mahajans. We have 12 Mahajans. We have 12 authorities in the world, 12 Mahajans, and Bali is one of them. Bali Bayasaki Bayan, that Swayambu Narada Sambu, Kumara Kapilo Bani, Kumara Kapilo Banyan. So there are 12 Mahajans, beginning from Lord Brahma, then you have Narada Muni, you have Lord Shiva, you have Janaki Maharaj, you have Prahlad Maharaj, you have Kapila Dev, then you have Vyasadev, you have Sukadev Goswami, and then you have Yamaraj, and then you have Bali. So there are 12 Mahajans of the universe. So Bali's become one of them because he do what is necessary. He gives because the Lord come to beg him from something, so he gave it to him. And when this guru said, "Don't give to the Lord," say, what kind of guru is that? Who will tell you not to give to Vishnu? What kind of guru is that? So therefore, you have to reject such guru. If a guru tell you not to worship Krishna, not to give to Krishna, then you have to worship that. Then that guru becomes useless. You have to reject that guru. And that's exactly what Bali did. So therefore Bali is honored, and it's one of our authorities, one of the Mahajans. Okay, Hare Krishna. I hope that's okay.
So looking at the consciousness of Bali, how can he be called as a demon? He challenged his spiritual master. What do you mean I should not give to Vishnu? Vishnu himself has come. I must give. So how can we say?
Sukracharya is the guru of the demons.
Right.
Spiritual master of the demons, and he teaches the disciples the path of sense gratification. That's why it's called Sukra. Sukra means semen. Sukracharya means is the guru of the semen. So because he teaches the disciple the path of sense gratification, so it's called Sukracharya. So the such kind of guru, they only teach you the path of materialism. They will not teach you the path of spiritualism, how to get out of this ocean of material existence. So therefore he has to reject it. And Bali, so he was born in that demoniac family, that is the demoniac lineage. Because from the Hiranyakashipu, you have Prahlad Maharaj, and you have his descendant. So these are demoniac descendants. But among the descendants are the devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee, even though he's coming from that demoniac family. But he's a devotee. He's a devotee of Vishnu. So which means there is no limitation for a devotee. A devotee can take birth from anyone, from anywhere. No limitation. A devotee can take birth from anywhere, for the most demoniac family, but still will still remain a devotees. And we have so many narrations of so many devotees who have taken birth in the demoniac families. We have so many narrations like that. So many. Because the prime one is Prahlad Maharaj, who was the son of Hiranyakashipu, the topmost demon in the universe. You see. So, of course, another thing, consideration is that these are the Lord's pastime. The Lord wants to perform his pastimes. So therefore, when the Lord performs his pastimes, some entities are devotees and some entities are demons. And the Lord performs his pastime and he deals with both. So with the devotees, he exhibits his merciful pastime with them, of protecting them. And for the demons, then he fights with them. He does a fighting with them. But the devotees and the demons, technically, they are both the Lord's servants. So when the Lord wants to come to the universe and perform his leelas, Some entities, they are classified as devotees, and some entities, they are classified as demons, and the Lord also deal with them. So that's how the Lord's pastimes is sweet. You know. So which means to be a demon, to fight with the Lord, they are not ordinary demons. Not ordinary, like me and you, we are demoniac, but can we fight with the Lord? We don't have power to fight with the Lord. But those demons, they have power, and they are the ones who can fight with the Lord. And the Lord made them that way. But we don't have power. I'm a demon, I cannot fight with the Lord. What power do I have? You know? So that's some of the considerations. So some entities, they come as demons, and some entities, they come as devotees, and they both engage in the Lord's pastimes. They both engage in the Lord's pastimes. You know.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for these beautiful explanations. And I did another Prabhu, please you may unmute.
Yeah, I wish Prabhu,
Hare
please
Krishna.
accept my humble obeisances on your letters. Thank you very much. So, Prabhu, I have 2-in-1 question. Please, first of all, I would like to know what necessitates this war that Bali fought with the demigods, hence leading to the cessation of the 3 wars. And also, how can you rate these people that we call demons, but yet they follow Vedic injunctions as compared to the whole world today? I hope my question is clear.
They want to know how the demons follow the Vedic injunctions.
No, what I mean is these people, we call them demons, yet they follow Vedic injunctions. But the whole world today, even though we call ourselves or belong to one way or the other religious group, yes, our life, we don't follow the injunctions of the Vedic knowledge. So how do you marry this? Isn't that we are more of demons than those people that we classify as demons in those days, yet they follow Vedic injunction? I don't know if my question is clear now.
Yeah, I got your question.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. If I can get your first, your first question was that again? You have to refresh my memory.
What necessitates the war that Bali fought with it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that war by which Bali fought the demigods and he took over the universe and got rid of all the demigods. So the war, because the demigods, they become very puffed up. They become very, very proud. Because from time to time, you see the demigods, they have unlimited access to sense enjoyment. And because they have unlimited access to sense enjoyment, sometimes they forget themselves. Sometimes they forget themselves. So one time, I think it was Indra's guru, is it Brihaspati or Brigumani? So he was, one time, okay, Indra Dev, no, it was, I think it was Vyasa, is the Devasmani who gave his galan to Indra. So Vyasa Dev and Devasmani is a great sage. So he gave his galan one time to Indra. So Indra, he thought that this is beneath him. So he took this galan and put it on the trunk of his elephant. So when Indra put this galan on the trunk of his elephant, so the elephant is an ignorant beast. So the elephant threw it on the ground and trampled it. So when the elephant and the Devasmuni saw this, he became very annoyed, very angry. He said, "Oh, you're gonna lose. I caused you to lose everything. You lose all your kingdom." So Indra was caused to lose everything. So as such, so the fight came between the demigods and the demons become victorious. So there's always, actually, since the beginning of the creation, because there's always the demons and the demigods. And from time to time, sometimes the demons, they become victorious, And sometimes the demigods, they become victorious from time to time. Because yes, the demigods, they are the universal controllers and all that. But from time to time, they forget their position because they have so much power. They have so much ability for sense enjoyment. So sometimes they think themselves to be beyond the law of nature. So they act. So when they act, and they get chastised for that, and that's why the demigod, sometimes they lose everything to the demons. So in this particular episode, this is what has happened. So the demons, the demigod, they lost everything to the demons. The demons kicked them out of their post, and the demons, they took over. Because the demigod, they were under the curse of the great sage. So they had to appeal to Lord Vishnu. So they had to pray to Lord Vishnu to please to come and help them out to recover their kingdom. So, and Lord Vishnu, he came as Vamandev. He didn't declare war on the demons. After all, demons are also his creation also. So the Lord did not declare war on the demons. It's simply, okay, I'm going to beg for them, beg on your behalf. So it became Vamandev. So that is that episode. And then the second question, what's the question?
The second question was those
Huh?
considered to be demons in the scriptures.
Oh, that they follow Vedic scriptures. Yeah. The demons, they follow Vedic life, Sasha, because in the Vedic scriptures, it contains two paths. You have what we call pravritti marg, and then you have a nivritti marg. The part of sense enjoyment, and then the part of liberation. So two parties in the Vedic scriptures. So in the many Vedic scriptures are whereby you perform so many sacrifices. And by performance of many sacrifices, you get unlimited sense enjoyment. You go to the higher planets, you enjoy yourself, you got the facility, you become very, very powerful and all that. So that is part of nivritti marg. And that's usually the demigods and demons, they follow that part. They do a lot of worship, a lot of jagas and all that. Whereas the part of nivritti marg is what devotees follow. The part of nivritti marg is that part whereby devotees, they want to turn their back to sense gratification. They want to turn their back to the idea of enjoying this world. It doesn't matter higher planet or heaven. No, they want to turn their back to it. They simply want to cross over the ocean of material existence. So it's not uncommon that the demons, they also follow the path of which has been allocated in the Vedic in terms of how to become very, very powerful, how to elevate yourself to the higher planet. Like many demigods and many demons do that. Just like Hiranyakashipu, if he was performing austerity for hundreds of celestial years, intense austerity, so at the end, then Lord Brahma came to him, and then Lord Brahma asked him, what do you want? And then he asked Brahmaji that, let me become immortal. I want to have a long life. So that's a story itself, like that. So in the Vedic time, both demons and the devotees, they all follow the Vedic, kind of Vedic regulations. But in this age of Kali, nobody's following anything. Nobody follows anything in this age of Kali. So therefore, that's why the only sacrifice that is recommended in this age is Nam Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan. Because nobody follows, because people do not have capability to follow the Vedic regulation. The capability is not there. And also the good quality is not there. People do not have Brahmanic quality is not there. The quality of patience, of tolerance, all these qualities is not there in Kali Yuga. So therefore, the only qualification that anyone can have is to simply take up the chanting of the Lord's holy name. That is the only way. There's no other method. That's the only sacrifice recommended for the age. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well, Prabhuji, thank you so much for being here today. As we all can see, you exhibited quite a lot of cold symptoms, yet you still came in here to share your love and wisdom with us. I think we will have to let you take rest so you can get well for Rangarati in the morning, except someone else has something to ask. Okay, Shimabara,
Yeah, I think.
Okay, Governor.
I think his question. Yeah, I think part of his question is not answered. You know, he tried to understand.
You mean
We call these people demons. Yeah, another question.
okay.
We call these people demons, but at least they were following some part of Vedic injunctions.
Yeah.
But he wants to know, comparing those demons who are following the Vedic injunctions somehow or other to today's world order, that we have, all kinds of religious bodies, but they are not following the Vedic injunction. So these two people, who is elevated and who is not, can we consider that we are even more demonic than them, because at least they were following Vedic injunctions, so they were getting elevation. But we are not following Vedic injunctions. So he wants to know the difference between these two entities.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that in my question also, that in my answer, that yes, in this stage we're actually much more falling, much lower than those demons, because those demons, they follow some Vedic standard. They have respect for the Brahmanas, which in this day nobody even knows who's a Brahmana. Not talk about what is a Brahmana. So the age is the age of Kali is the most fallen age. Everyone is falling this age of Kali. Patita, we're the most fallen in this age of Kali. The demons, they're actually much more elevated than us. Because in those days, the demons, even though they are demoniac, they can perform act that the Lord himself will come and chastise them. The Lord himself will come and chastise them, and then they get liberation. But in this age of Kali, the Lord will not come, because people are so lower, they're so fallen than the demons, so fallen. People, they don't even know what they are doing. They don't even know what they are doing. And the so-called religion that we have in this age is just another form of cheating. It's just another form of cheating. The so-called religion that we have nowadays. Religion above. Worship God, go to heaven, and enjoy yourself now, and then you go to heaven and keep on enjoying yourself. So which means the concept of service to God is never there. The concept of let's go and serve God is not there. The concept is like, let us do good, let's enjoy, and then we go to the heaven, then we're going to continue enjoyment. And those who don't believe in us, they're going to go to hell. They're going to go to hell, those who don't have the same belief as us. So it's all same gratification based on selfishness, but that's not the idea of God consciousness. The devotees, the idea of God worship is that we want to serve God in this life, and then in the next life, the service to God continues. The goal of life is service to God. That's the goal of life, to serve God. But in the contemporary religion, you don't find that concept of service to God. You don't find that concept. It's all about, what am I going to get? God, be kind of me. God, kill my enemies. That's all. Like, God of retribution. That's how people know in this age of God, the concept of God worship. Somebody have to be known as your friend, and somebody have to be known as your enemy. But a devotee, no one is your friend or enemy. Everyone is a part of God. Everyone is part and parcel of God. You don't see someone as your enemy and someone as your friend. So therefore, as devotee is that Jivadoya. There was a Jivadoya. It's very, very merciful to the Jivas. Jivadoya. It's merciful to the Jivas, and therefore it's ready to preach to anyone, to everybody. Because everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. And we are disconnected because of ignorance, and because of ignorance. So we have to suffer in the material world. But the moment that ignorance is removed, then the suffering is finished. We can know that where we belong, and we can make an effort to reach that place, which is the process of devotional service. How to connect ourselves to that place where we come from. So, I hope that's sufficient. I know this can be taken on a much more elaborate step, but that simple way, I hope that's sufficient. Am I correct? Maybe you can elaborate on that, Brother Prabhu?
Well, yeah, Hare Krishna. So, His Grace Sri Mavara Acharya, please give me a mute. Hare Krishna.
Please answer my humble obeisance. So glory to Prabhu. Prabhu, I raise my hand not to comment, but to ask a question. So we appreciate whatever you have given. But my question may help to, elucidate the point. Sukracharya, what is it? Brihaspati's son, Kasha, became the disciple of Sukracharya. This is the son of the guru of the demigod. But Brihaspati actually sent him to go and learn from Sukracharya because there's a department of knowledge that Brihaspati, could not teach. And that lineage is the parampara of the Jain religion. In the parampara of the Jain religion, of course, they worship Rishabhadev, even though they are not considered as Vaishnavas, but they venerate the son as one of their Guru Parampara, in their Guru Parampara, their lineage. Kasha is one of the top there. So my reason for saying this is that actually there's so much interconnection between the demons and the demigods, so much so that at some point, of course, we know the scripture says that they are the children of they are from the same father. So I'm just trying to say that what we call demon might not really be in the sense that we're seeing it today. Excuse me to say, maybe it's sounding like speculation. Of course, we know that they can be inimical to Lord Vishnu, or but somehow or the other, they're given certain powers, and they're allowed to reign over the universe. And the Lord allowed them to be there to also be checks and balance for the demigods. So it sounds like they have a role to play, and it's just like what mood or what role you want to play. That's what determines where you belong. I mean, if Brihaspati could send his own son to go and learn from Sukracharya, so you can see the importance of Sukracharya also. I mean, Sukracharya was also glorified as it's not a demon, but because he had a role to play, and those were the people available to teach the demons. So he gave his knowledge to them. But it was also a Brahmin. It was
Yes,
qualified priest.
Sukracharya was actually an expansion of Lord Shiva, actually.
Yes.
Lord Shiva's expression. So
please, you can take it off, Prabhu.
So,
thank you.
An expansion of Lord Shiva, so it teaches, that way. So sometimes it's just like we have the case of Bomasura. Bomasura was actually son of Varahadev and Mother Earth, which means the son of God. Varahadev is God. So Varahadev and Mother Earth, he was a son. because of the union Varaha and Mother, so the son was produced. That's a Bomasura. And initially, Bomasura, it was very, very protective for the Brahman class and all that. But after some time, it became, due to bad association, then it became changed. His nature changed due to bad association, and it became the torture of the Brahmins class. It became an irritation to the universe. So much so that Lord Vishnu had to come and kill him. So Lord Vishnu killed him, even though he's his own son, but the Lord killed him because it became antagonistic to the to the universe due to bad association which he had. So sometimes the descendant of the origin of demons or the demigods or devotees, sometimes it's not necessarily clearly defined. That after all, both demons and demigods, they all come from the same father, Kashyapa. Kashyapa had two wives, Diti and Aditi, two wives. So Diti and Aditi, Diti is the mother of the demigods. No, Diti is the mother of the demons, deities.
Demons.
And then Aditi is the mother of the demigods, Aditya. So, so which means they are essentially cousins. I mean, they're essentially brothers. But the brother fight. So, but one is demon and one is demigods. So sometimes if we try to reason, analyze so much, we can actually get confused. How come, they're same father, but one is demoniac, one is demon. Actually, just like when Diti, when she approached Kashyapa Muni, that she's ready now, she wants to have a child, she wants to copulate, they want to have sex, let's do it now. So Kashyapa told him, said, look, this is not a good time. It was like midnight, so many ghosts they're going around the universe. This is not a good time to do it. But Diti was saying, no, I'm ready now. I have to do it now. So Kashyapa, he had to agree to the request of his wife, and then he engaged in a sexual act. And I told her that, well, because we have done this thing at a very inauspicious time, so therefore the son that's going to be generated from this union, there's going to be demons. The demons is going to be generated from this particular union. So therefore you have Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, who became the toughest demon in the universe. So that happens. So everybody, we may have a divine origin, but the kind of samskara, the kind of nature that everybody has adopted, it becomes the thing. The kind of nature that everyone adopted. Anyway, but that's the nature of this material world. But this material world is such that because this material world has to go on, the material world has to go on, and because it has to go on, there will always be a combination of demons and devotees, demigods and devotees. That combination will always be there. Because the Lord have to perform his pastimes. The Lord comes from time to time to perform his pastime. And when the Lord has to perform his pastime, then he has to play. His play is that he deal with demons and the demigods. That's called the play, the lila. He has to perform lila. Fight with the demons, give message to the devotees. But as one of the philosophers said, that both the demons and the demigods, they're both creation of, but they are both created for the Lord's own lila, for the own pastimes. So which means at the ultimate sense, both demons are not really condemned in the ultimate. Because when demons are killed by the Lord, then they go back to the spiritual world. When demons are killed by the Lord. So
yes, Prabhu. There's a follow-up. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I said there's a follow-up. Please, sorry to keep you.
Okay.
Sorry, you narrate.
I think your voice is
Calling him. just the story you narrated about the Kadashi and the Apsara who couldn't fly back.
Yeah.
That sounded very much like African folk story, not folk story, but even real life situation now. Those whom we call Apsara, we have other names for them in the African culture. Sometimes we say witchcraft or something. And they also fly, and sometimes they cannot fly back. So for one reason or the other, they get. So I mean, when anybody reading that, it's very much connected with African culture. We think, I mean, this is like something that our people used to do here. Because at night they used to come to the garden. It's not daytime, and those people here also, it's at night they go for their own things, and then sometimes they find difficulty flying back, and like that. So some of these stories, we accept them, as Vedic knowledge, but they are very much intertwined with what we call African culture.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have the Apsaras. But they live in the higher planets. So only this which planet they live is another thing.
But they're also females. They're also females. So Apsaras, they are females, and there are witches. They're also mostly females.
But these Apsara, they are so beautiful like anything. But these witches are not necessarily beautiful. These witches are not necessarily beautiful.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you. What is so beautiful. Since Shivara Prabhu asked this question about Brihaspati, who is the preceptor to the demigods, sent his own son, Kacha, and Kacha became a disciple to Shukracharya. Well, I have this question in regards to this pastime, that pastime of Kacha becoming a disciple of Shukracharya. I think this is a typical example that we should not try to emulate, because Kacha was a very, very dedicated disciple to Shukracharya. But he wasn't there, and he wasn't rendering such service out of love for him. He was there as a spy to get a particular mantra that Shukracharya has to bring back lost lives from his camp, from his devotees, the demons, which Brihaspati didn't have that mantra, didn't know that mantra. So he wanted his son, Kacha, to go as a spy, become a disciple, and learn the mantra, which obviously he did. So I am thinking that this is a very, very bad example of discipleship. And I do not know if Ishara Prabhu, you are the speaker, if you have something to say about my opinion about Kacha and Shukracharya.
Well, one thing, as I mentioned earlier, that Shukracharya, he was not an ordinary person. Shukracharya is a very, very powerful being. He was actually an expansion of Lord Shiva. So he was not an ordinary person. But his particular mission is just to encourage the demons. He was a guru of the demons. And the being demon means also only part of materialism. So a specific mentor that he has, which Brihaspati may not have in terms of being able to revive others. Brihaspati may not necessarily have that. And sometimes one become a guru, one become a disciple of a particular guru to get some things. Another thing is if the guru will actually become pleased with the disciple or not. So we have the case of Ekalavya. So Ekalavya was actually born in a low class, was a low class fellow, but he wanted to have the Kshatriya. He wanted to be trained by Dronacharya. So when he went to be trained by Dronacharya, Dronacharya refused. He said, "No, I cannot give you training because you come from a low class. He cannot give you training." But Ekalavya, for some reason, he has a faith in the guru. You know, he has faith in the guru. So, he went to the forest and he built a form of a statue of Dronacharya. So he built it, and I was practicing archery. He was practicing art of warfare just by meditating and looking at the archery. Was practicing, and then he became big fighter, top fighter. He became a top fighter, so much so that the Pandavas, they became amazed by his expertise. They became amazed by his expertise. And when the Pandava, because Dronacharya, he had promised Arjun that he's going to be the greatest archer. But Arjun just found that Ekalavya, he was a great archer. So he went to his guru that he didn't know that you have a disciple who has this skill. The guru said, "No, who's that disciple?" And then they brought this Ekalavya. And then Dronacharya said that, how did I teach you? How did you become expert? So Ekalavya explained himself, how he had learned the art of military warfare. And then then Dronacharya told, okay, you have to pay, since you've learned and you've become expert, so you have to pay your dakshin. So therefore, I want your thumb, your right thumb. I want it as a dakshin. So therefore, Ekalavya, he cut off the right thumb and gave to the guru. But by cutting off the right thumb, he will not be able to properly hold the bow. So because Ekalavya, he tried to learn from the guru, but in a cheating way. When the guru said, "No, I'm not going to teach you," but for one way or the reason, he tried to learn from the guru in a backdoor way. But Ekalavya himself was actually demoniac himself. And that's what ultimately Krishna actually killed him. Eventually, he was killed by Krishna eventually. So it's there in the Vedic narrations, whereby you find many of these stories. There is there in the narrations. But many stories are there. But what is most important is what will take us to the ultimate goal. What will take us across the ocean of materialistic existence. That's what's important, because there are so many stories that you read about, many stories in the Vedas, in the Puranas. So many stories are there. Just like right now, I'm working on the stories of Lord Ram. But Lord Ram's story is so vast. There are at least 4 or 5 different types of Ramayana which describe the persons of Lord Ram. And each particular book will tell you different stories. You know, each book will tell you different stories. But the most essential is how we can become the lost devotees, because that's what will take us across this ocean of materialistic existence. By hearing these stories, we develop, let's say, we can develop the nature, we can develop kind of a saintly nature. We can become detached from this material world by hearing these stories. So hearing these stories is very, very essential. But ultimately, we have to know that hearing this story, the goal is how to become the lost devotees. That's basically the goal. You know.
So, Prabhu, I know your time is far spent here, and we have to allow you to go. But you know, as we are churning the ocean of nectar, and the nectar is now flowing. So after struggling, forget the nectar flowing, then what do? You know, we have to drink it. And so please forgive us. You see, this question of Ekalavia and Sukachaya, we would like you to throw more light for us to understand the position of a guru. The gurus, of course, Krishna always want them to know what is right for them to know. But looking at the story of Raghu, when the demons, after churning the ocean and they got the nectar, and Mother Rohini have to come and try to share, and he tried to trick them to give the nectar to the demigods, and the demigods, Rahu, find out that, was it Chandra? He found out that this person who is sitting down here as a demigod is actually a demon. So immediately he informed Mother Rohini, and so many things happened. Yeah. So they have the ability to know their disciples. So when you say Ekalavya came to trick Sukracharya to get a mantra, Sukracharya, I believe, when he saw Vishnu, he saw that this is Vishnu, and so he advised his disciple not to give the tree land. The 3 steps of land. And so is it because the gurus they come as a rainfall? When the rain falls, it falls everywhere to the land. It doesn't discriminate. Does the guru come for that purpose to give mercy to each and every person who come close? Or otherwise, how can someone come and trick somebody like Sukracharya to obtain power? Can you explain that, please?
Well, first of all, Sukracharya is a guru that teaches you the part of materialist sense enjoyment. It's not a guru that will teach you the part of liberation. So which means he will teach you not to give to Vishnu. He will teach you don't give to Vishnu. Maybe you can give to Shiva Brahmaji because they will give you materialistic benediction. But he will tell you not to give to Vishnu, because you give it to Vishnu, Vishnu will take away everything from you. When you worship Vishnu, you are deprived of everything. So the Acharya, being a materialistic guru, he will teach you not to surrender to Vishnu. So normally you have two gurus, where you have a certain class of guru who only teaches the part of materialism, and you have another class of guru who teaches the part of spirituality, the part of liberation. And of course, those kind of gurus are very, very rare. So that's basically the essence of things. And normally when different disciples come to a particular guru, which the guru is qualified, he can know the temperament of the particular disciples. And then he can decide to either to give the disciple training or not to give the training. So when Ekalavya went to his guru, which is Dronacharya, not Ekalavya, it's actually Dronacharya, not Sukracharya. So when Ekalavya went to Dronacharya and asked him to be given a military training, so Dronacharya said, no, he only teaches the Kshatriyas and Brahmanas, not the Sudras, because Ekalavya was born in the Sudra family. So he said, no, I will not give you such training. But Ekalavya, he wanted to cheat the guru by getting the training, because apparently he knows that the gurus, so he made the form of the guru, because he has such faith that guru and his form is non-different. So he made the form of the guru, and he was practicing archery in front of the guru's form, and he became perfect. He became expert. But such a situation is not recommended. It's not. When one guru, there should be agreement between the guru and the disciples, which means one approach the guru, and the guru must accept one, that yes, I will give you training. The disciple beg the guru for training, and the guru must accept. So that acceptance must be there. Otherwise, if one simply call himself the disciple of a particular guru and there's no acceptance from the guru, then that is simply cheating. It's a cheating process. So there is one article which was written by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta on Ekalavya. I think this article, I posted it on my Harmony forum. But if you don't have it, if you don't belong to that forum, Harmony, you can request me. I can send you that article, which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta wrote about Ekalavya. Yeah, by a cheating disciple want to learn from the Guru. I would recommend that everybody read that article. It's written by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta on the Ekalavya. If you don't have it, you can write me. I will send it to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think everyone will be pleased to read that article.
Yeah, to read that.
If you may share it on the Hare Krishna Africa WhatsApp platform, that will be highly appreciated. Well, the word is.
Just remind me sometimes. I will share it.
Okay, I will. Well, the word is we thank you all, and His Grace Ishara Prabhu will wish you speedy recovery from your cold symptoms. And the word is we hope to see you all again by the Lord's grace tomorrow, same time, same place. And with that, we're going to humbly request you all to kindly unmute. And we all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, His Grace Ishara Prabhu. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Acha karvatar cha asya evacha patitanam pavanavebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai.
Jai.
Jai.